Now, baby, come on in here and let me tell you about one of the dumbest things I did when I thought I knew everything. Because experience is a mighty expensive teacher, and Lord knows I've paid tuition. See, I was about 19 years old, and back then I thought I knew more than everybody, especially my mama. Now my mama wasn't bothering nobody. She had rules, normal rules. Things like, tell me where you're going, be home at a decent hour, help clean this house. You know, parent stuff. But one Saturday morning, we got into an argument over something so silly I can't even remember what it was. Probably because it wasn't important in the first place. Well, baby, I got so mad I puffed up like a bullfrog and announced, I'm grown, I can do whatever I want. My mama looked at me over the top of her glasses and said, if you're so grown, then go on and be grown. Now that should have been my warning sign right there. But no, I packed up my little suitcase with about 4 outfits, 2 pairs of shoes, a curling iron, and enough attitude to power the entire city. I moved into the first apartment I could afford. Baby. When I tell you that apartment was tiny, I'm talking so small you could fry chicken in the kitchen and smell it in every room at the same time. I didn't have a couch. I didn't have a dining table. I didn't have curtains. Shoot, I barely had groceries. For the first 2 weeks, my living room furniture consisted of one lawn chair and a milk crate. I used that milk crate for everything: coffee table, nightstand, footstool, emergency dining room table. One day, I sat down too hard and the thing collapsed underneath me. I ended up eating my bologna sandwich off the floor. Then came the bills. Now, when I lived with my mama, I thought lights just magically turned on. Water magically came out the faucet. Heat magically appeared when it got cold. Baby, ain't nothing magical about utility bills. The first time I opened my mailbox and saw all those envelopes, I nearly passed out right there in the parking lot. I remember standing in my apartment one evening with exactly $17 left until payday. $17. I was eating noodles so often, I started naming them. One bowl was called Raymond. The next bowl was called Cousin Ray. The third bowl was called Uncle Ray Ray. I was sick of all of them. Meanwhile, my mama was over at her house sleeping peacefully, eating home-cooked meals and minding her business. The final straw came when my refrigerator was so empty that opening the door felt like staring into a cave. I stood there looking at one lonely hot dog, half a bottle of mustard, and a jar of pickles. That's when reality finally slapped me upside the head. I didn't move out because I was ready. I moved out because I was mad. And baby, anger is a terrible life coach. A few days later, I went over to visit my mama. Now I wasn't about to admit she was right. Not yet. But when she handed me a plate piled high with fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, cornbread, and peach cobbler, I almost cried right there at the kitchen table. Mama just smiled. She didn't say, I told you so. She didn't have to. That plate said it for her. Looking back now, I realized something important. There is nothing wrong with wanting independence. Nothing wrong with wanting your own place. Nothing wrong with growing up. But don't rush into grown-up responsibilities because your feelings got hurt. Make decisions with your head, not your temper. Because once the excitement wears off, you're still stuck paying the rent. And trust me, the landlord does not accept attitude as payment.